Do you want to do the intro?
I can.
All right, go for it.
All right, welcome, gentlemen and boys. I doubt we have any women tuning in, but if we do, welcome as well. Welcome to Talking.
Doncic pulls up three-pointer. Bang! It's good! A Doncic
What
dagger!
the fuck did they do? Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus?
Oh, behind the back again!
That is so cute.
Justin Jackson goes to Oklahoma City, and the Mavs get James Johnson.
Like, Donovan literally has the athleticism of an elderly man, bro. Bro, he does not have any type of athleticism.
Y'all, it is the date that we're recording this. It's Friday, August 27th, 2021, a somber day in Mavericks history. The Dallas Mavericks, headlined by Nico Harrison and Mark Cuban, have just waived guard forward Nate Hinton after a glorious stint with the Mavericks of being our cheerleader. And the people want to change. The people are going to organize a revolution to overthrow the government.
Yeah, you look up and down that roster, and I just can't think of a single soul of anyone who could fill that role. I have no clue who's gonna be, who can possibly fill that role, even just for a little bit. Who can possibly fill that role
Jared Dudley.
of sitting on the sideline? Yeah, it's gonna have to be Dudley. It's gonna have to be Dudley. I don't know of any player on our current roster that can do that. So if that's what we hired Dudley for, then so be it. Did it cost Nate Hinton? No, it shouldn't have. Overly way too valuable.
Maybe Christy, fuck, what's her name? The active WNBA
Christy
player.
Tolliver?
Yeah, who's just straight up being an NBA coach as a side hustle. Like, she's a full-time professional athlete, part-time Dallas Mavericks assistant coach.
I actually do wonder how that works.
I mean,
I don't know if it does. I mean, is she watching film for like the Sparks and the Mavericks? I mean, I don't know. I feel like I want somebody full time, but hey, if she's just getting buckets in the WNBA and caring nothing else about the entire sport, then I'm fine with that if she's just on board with Dallas. But she did give Brittany Griner a wedgie, so she gets points for that.
yeah, she's like, it's just so weird that that's a thing, that there's just like a full-time, like, I've never heard of an NBA coach being like, what is she making? Like, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to be a part-time NBA coach? That's just like the weirdest thing I've ever heard of. We could give her like a pay raise if she want to step in and be the Nate Hinton type cheerleader. Has a coach ever done that? Like I was like, we were
Wow.
talking about Dudley, like possibly filling that role. Like, imagine just like a couple dudes in suits. Like, Dudley brings back like the Nets line dancing from like 2019.
Yeah, no, he was a part of that historic bench unit.
When the
So I mean,
when he single handedly murdered Ben Simmons in the playoffs.
yeah.
That was
And
a
he tried to
that was a
take
great-
down Jimmy Butler. I feel like that we moved on from the idea of getting glue guys as players whenever we got James Johnson, and then we decided to get a glue guy coaching staff.
Yeah, you got you got like a side hustler. You got just like some fucking like Elmer Fudd looking face ass. You got a 5'10" Puerto Rican demigod, and then arguably the
He's a
most
glue guy as well.
the most liked man in NBA history representing us as our head coach.
Oh yeah, and then you can't forget that we've got a street ball legend, God Sham God, also on the coaching staff. We just I wonder what the application to be on the Mavericks coaching staff looks like.
It's written in crayon.
I, I I'm pretty sure it just has one question, and it just says, list everything that you've done outside of the NBA or basketball in general.
And then the longest list just instantly gets the job. I mean, Daryl Armstrong is there. He's like just like an NBA player turned coach. He's like as like stereotypical of a coach as you can get, but everyone else is just like a fucking maniac.
Yeah, and then also notably on the coaching staff is Igor Kokoskov, Luca's old Real Madrid coach.
Oh, like I've been so caught up with Jared Dudley and Christy Tolliver, I just completely forgot about that. Like that went in one ear and just like exited like 30 minutes later. I was like, yo, that's pretty sick, and then like I just forgot about it like 30 minutes later. Like that's the most forgetful thing that's happened this entire offseason.
Yeah, Igor Kokoskov has a very he had a short tenure with the Phoenix Suns as their head coach, and he had a very forgettable NBA record, 19-63. But
That's respectable.
I, yeah, it's respectable. So I don't know how he will rebound from that. I'm sure he'll be okay.
What
I'm
was
sure that he got put in a really tough scenario where he had to watch Cameron Payne dribble for 40 million times, but
I'm looking up Jason Kidd coaching record.
I think he's about dead even. I'm not too sure.
He is 195 and 192, so 3 games off of dead even.
Okay, winning record. We like that.
Yeah, trending in the positive direction. Guess
Yeah.
our buddy Igor can't say the same.
No, Igor, his reputation might never. He might never get the opportunity as a head coach, but maybe he can have the most fire assistant coach record ever.
And the most fire name.
Well, that's also impossible because he was an assistant coach for the Kings, and I don't think
Yeah.
that record was too great either. But also, did you hear about Jason Kidd? Like the reports coming out from like the Bucks like old staff
Yeah. That was
about how he treated the players.
yeah, I read through all of those. He would like make them run suicides on like Christmas morning or something like that. It's like, just like
Yeah,
a psychopath.
Dude canceled Christmas because Larry Sanders didn't want to run or something. I don't know.
Like he didn't want to play Giannis because like Giannis like argued with him. It was like there's like a defensive miscommunication that led to like a huge scoring run from the other team, and then he blamed Giannis, and Giannis is like, "Nah, bro, that wasn't me." And then at halftime, they like watch film, and like it shows that it wasn't Giannis's fault, but then he still benches Giannis for the second half and like took away like 5 minutes off of the rest of the season for him. And is this the dude who we want? Like, do we want to give Luca to this guy?
I've always looked at Jason Kidd in a positive light. I remember the championship team. I remember his post career, but it's like just you hear story after story after story, and you're like, man, this dude's fighting demons, and it's just like I don't know if it's a problem that I want on my end. But hopefully that this coaching staff and hopefully the people that surround him it'll all be positive. But just you're kind of like throwing him into the fire. And I think that it can work. I mean, he's a basketball savant, basketball genius. He clearly knows what he's doing on the floor or watching the floor as a former floor general himself. And I think that'll help Luka a lot. And he'll try to get in the mix with some of the other guards on the squad. So maybe like Luka isn't so on the ball 24/7 during the offense. And I think that there's a lot of good that can come out of this, but I'm not ready for a whole bunch of existential drama. I feel like we just went through all that with the front office.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the hiring from like I guess like a skill set matchup between Kidd and Luca, but and like looking at Kidd's career as an NBA player, it's like this guy was like a great player, like no doubt like a Hall of Famer, but then you like take one little peek off the court and you want to like close that book and like run away from it. Like I just like I respect his game. I guess I respect his coaching minus that big story that came out about the Bucks. But like just like him as a person, like I don't like that the Mavs like rolled over that log and like are trying to see what's gonna come out.
But also, part of me realizes that the man who I probably trust most out of the entire organization, Dirk Nowitzki, pointed at that finger. He pointed the finger and he said, no, Jason Kidd should be our head coach. Mark Cuban actually had other ideas. Mark Cuban was looking elsewhere. Mark Cuban ultimately made the decision to hire Nico Harrison as the GM, but he also wanted a different coach. But Dirk Nowitzki was the guy who really pointed the finger and said, hey, get this guy as our coach. And I trust Dirk. I guarantee that he's had conversations with Kid. I'm sure Kid that he wouldn't throw us into that fire unless he knew that like Kid cleared some things up with himself.
Well, what I'm worried is that like Jason and Dirk were like good buddies back in the day, right? They won a fucking NBA championship together. Like that'll
Sure.
do that for you. And like I'm worried that his judgment was shadowed and clouded by his friendship and his matching championship rings with Jason Kidd. It's just like it's a thought that hasn't left my mind since the hiring. And like I'm just
Well, and that's understandable.
I'm nervous. Like things could go right, and Kid he could have a breakout coaching year, but things could also go so very wrong, to the point where like I'm concerned about Luka's willingness to stay in Dallas. Like if things go the Rick Carlisle route, but like much more extreme, which it very well could, based on the stories we've heard and based on the type of person that Jason Kidd claims he isn't anymore. But I don't know. It's just like those could just be like false claims, and it's just nerve-wracking to me just to have this, like, I don't know. It feels like Dirk Nowitzki dropped a grenade in our laps, and we're not sure if it's active yet.
Yeah. But it's like some of the encouraging things was listening to Giannis during his championship speech talk about like talk about some of the people that really helped him in his life, and he threw Jason Kidd into that conversation and talked about what his role was early on in his career. And so being a relatively young team now, having some foundation in our youth, I feel like that like for Giannis to say that it's a little bit encouraging. It kind of throws a little bit of water on the fire.
Well, I mean, like, in Giannis's case, I feel like he attributes more to Jason Kidd because he was, like, a bottom-tier role player when Jason Kidd was his coach. He didn't have, like, he didn't start out his career great, obviously. And,
No.
like, you give that, like, trial by fire to people in that situation, people who are not doing too great but have a lot of potential. And that's what Kidd did for Giannis. But then, like, when you're handed a piece like Luka, who's, like, a young talent but already a top 5 player in the league, I hope that Jason Kidd still doesn't have that mindset. Because if he's grilling Luka and he's giving him the trial by fire, then, like, we know what Luka's personality is like when that happens. And Luka wants to be the alpha dog, and he deserves to be. But just based on the past and based on how Kidd handles his young players, like, you can't be too, I guess, cautious and nervous about how that relationship is going to play out.
Yeah, that's something where I really hope that like the hiring of Igor Kokoskov will really help play out. Like get a coach that you know is going to be on Luka's side. And it's like try to ease some tension between that. Hopefully there won't be a lot of tension. Whenever I heard the press conference today with all the new guys, I was really encouraged by Kid's comments on saying that like we really need like a Mavericks like camaraderie, you know, especially with all these silly questions about like friendships and like how close is the team actually with each other. And it's like Kid really just like coming out the gate and being like, no, we're gonna build like a brotherhood here. So I mean that was kind of encouraging. I don't know if it means anything like on the basketball floor, but we'll see.
So yeah, another thing, obviously, the Wicked Witch, Josh Richardson, he is no longer a Dallas Maverick. Salute to Boston for taking him on and extending him. Not sure what was going on in good old Brad Stevens' head there, but it's done. Congratulations, Boston fans. You now have a couple months of delusion and some more months of pain after that. We talked about this. We had an episode on IGTV. It was like 15 minutes long, just like right after he got traded, talking about it. It got taken down, or like I took it down there was like an audio issue with it, and just never bothered to like re-edit it and re-upload it. But yeah, so we talked about it like right after the trade, but then like later on, after I'd already posted it, it came out that Moses Brown is a Dallas Maverick from that trade, and yeah, so if you want to just share your thoughts on that, because like when we did it the first time, of course we didn't know the full trade details, and we were both just like high on dopamine. But yeah, I'm still very happy. My opinions have not changed, and I've respected that was Nico Harrison's only W of his stint as the general manager of the Dallas Mavericks. So I'll give that to him. But yeah, that was a good 48 hours.
Yeah, I believe that Moses Brown was truly the bright spot of this pretty dreary free agency period, full of hopes and dreams being shattered left and right. But I'm big on Moses Brown. Like 21 years old, he's a freaking monster in the paint. I think he just fits so well with that team too. I really want him to have a starting role. I as much as I love Maxey, I'm not a huge Dwight Powell guy, but I need to see Moses Brown in that starting lineup. I think that his development could be a key, whether the Mavericks have if they overperform or if they underperform, just based on him. I'm really big on him.
Yeah, I watched a decent amount of Thunder games for some reason because I don't know, ever since I found out that their starting lineup was younger than the University of Oklahoma. I thought that was funny. So then I just started watching some of their games and just to scope out the young guys. And Moses Brown, he's a 20-20 guy. He'll drop you 20 points, 20 rebounds any night of the week, and that's rebounding is obviously a huge issue with the Mavs in the past. So hopefully Moses Brown can be the savior in that. Obviously, I'm a realist in that I've gotten my hopes up for multiple people over the last 5 or 6 years, just to be let down at pretty much every single time. I guess with the exception of Luka, but I want Moses Brown to be good. I'm not gonna get my hopes too high and say that this is what will lead us to a championship, but yeah, I guess I'm optimistic, but I'm also realistic at the same time.
I just think that Moses Brown is the first real interior presence that we've had in a long time, since Tyson Chandler's came back his second time.
Well,
I think that
DeAndre Jordan was supposed to be that, and then just
yeah, he was
wasn't.
supposed to.
Just ate up $24 million and then gave us Kristaps
Yeah.
Porzingis. So
DeAndre Jordan was it was a pretty forgettable stint with the Dallas Mavericks, but I think that we haven't had a shot blocker in so long. I mean that's been the big thing. I mean, KP's had flashes of it, but it's Dwight Powell, Maxey, Boban, and none of those guys are going up and getting a block. Moses Brown has a couple games where he has more than 5 blocks, and I'm just really excited for that interior presence to be back on the team. And it's we've tried the 5-out spacing for so long. It'll be nice to switch up some of the floor with having with having a guy commanding the paint, with having having a roller more than a popper. So
yeah, it was funny how you mentioned Maxey as not being he's not a consistent interior presence, but I just can't get my mind off of this one. It was Zion's third NBA game or something like that, or one of his first couple NBA games. He only played 19 games his rookie year, but it's one of his first couple games. It was Mavs at New Orleans, and Maxey had 7 blocks that game, and 6 of which were on Zion. And Zion shot 3 for 20 on Maxey. Maxey was just fucking welcoming this man to the league, and it was such a joy to watch. And I felt like a little kid on Christmas watching that game. And
that was a very fun game. Went to OT. I think Luka hit a top of the key dagger over Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
That was just overall just a really fun game. I think that
no matter who you're rooting for, that game was just great.
Yeah, I mean Maxey, as far as power forwards go, he's a great shot blocker. He has a great shot block percentage while he's on the floor. But overall, I mean, I'm not gonna go ahead and call him an interior force that I believe Moses Brown could be. And if this works out, Moses Brown can actually be a building block for the future of the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
If we can have Luka with whatever happens with KP this year, and maybe Moses Brown for years to come, and Moses Brown's on a decently long contract with us. I don't remember how much it is, but
I'll check.
But Moses Brown is on a decent contract, so I think if we can like re-sign Moses Brown in the future, if he shows flashes, that could be like an actual like building block for like bigger name guards and forwards to come play for Dallas.
He's on well his contract is like tiny. He's making 1.7 mil this year.
Oh yeah, no, I know it's tiny, but like it's pretty lengthy, right?
It goes to the end of the 22-23 season, so that's 2 years with us, and then a team option on the third year, so 3 years on like $1 million a year.
Right. So overall, it's like it's not hurting us at all for like the upcoming 2 years, maybe three, depending on the team option for free agency. And I just think that like there's just like so much potential in that. Obviously, it's like we didn't get the superstar in free agency, but I'm glad that we like picked up like a potential star.
Mm-hmm.
Like that'll be exciting to see how he plays. Even I want to see a unit with him and Josh Green out on the floor. I want to see what Josh Green's progression looks like too. I'm just really excited for the young guys.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like I'm so excited for Josh Green. Like towards the end of the season, he was really balling, and if Jason Kidd can utilize him right, I could very well see him averaging like 20 minutes a game at the end of the season. He reminds me of like a more athletic Draymond Green, like just getting out there like diving, or like maybe like a I don't know, like a taller Marcus Smart and like a more athletic Kyle Lowry, something along those. Like he'll just be like diving on the floor for loose balls. He'll be throwing himself 3 rows deep out of bounds, like hustling to get balls. He'll be taking off the easy cherry pick steals. And like,
if Josh Green can blossom into like his Australian counterpart Matisse Thybulle, I would be so excited. I would be so excited.
yeah, Matisse is awesome. I like Matisse. Ever since he started vlogging the bubble, I fucked with him.
I never watched any of those, but I heard they were good.
Oh yeah, they're really good. You should.
I
you
just
should
think that
binge
like
them.
I will one of these days. I think Josh Green has just like so much upside. I think he's already like so talented defensively, but and I don't know if you've like I know you were watching the games, but man, his rebounding is like special.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like
He's a really like he's one of like he's probably like a top 3 like rebounding shooting guard in the league like right now. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I was watching some of those. I'm like, wow, this guy is like he gets vertical so quickly.
He's one of those guys where you look at the stat like the box score and you're just like, okay, just like an average low end role player. Like nothing special about him. But then you watch the games and like his hustle is like unmatched. Like Marcus Smart, Kyle Lowry, like those are the only other guys I can think of who are doing the things that he's doing. He's drawing charges. He's diving on the floor. He's like risking his body to get an extra possession in the game, and that's just a crazy thing to have, especially in the how old is he, like 20 years old rookie. That's ridiculous, and I'm glad the Mavs picked him up. Like obviously like Sadiq Bey went right after him or right before him or something like that, and that would have been nice. But like Josh Green, I'm not mad about it. It was a great pick.
I think it was a good pick. One thing I want to see is like he's got to hit his corner threes, and I think that's something that he's been working on a lot. It's a shame that we didn't get to see much of him in the summer league, despite him being on the roster. But I think that. Well, I'm not gonna say I think. I hope that he'll be able to like become a more consistent shooter, because that's really the next step in his game to really blossom to like a quality like player in this league for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm. Like he can knock down the corner three pretty well. He hasn't shot a lot. But like yeah, like Jalen Brunson or Ty Terry will kick it out to him in the corner and he'll knock it down. But like he could very well blossom into like a 40% 3-point shooter on 3 attempts a game. Like he's never gonna be a volume shooter, but he can very much be an efficient scorer. Yeah, I mean, when I'm the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, after overthrowing the ownership and instating myself in Mark Cuban's place, I will personally make sure that Josh Green gets no less than like 35 minutes a night. He's gonna average like 10 steals and 50 rebounds, but yeah, I'm excited.
At Smartest Mavs Fan, what do you mean when you're gonna be the owner of the Dallas Mavericks?
So, as many of you know, I was recently followed on the IG by Alexis Cuban, daughter of Mark Cuban. And that is just the first domino that has fallen in my master plan to overthrow the Dallas Mavericks organization. So today was the straw that broke the camel's back. They waived Nate Hinton, and I can no longer stand for this. I have a 2 month plan, and I promise you that by the start of the season on October 21st, I will be the owner of the franchise, and you can bank on that. And I will be instating numerous members of the Instagram community, yet to be determined. I still need to sit down with my crew and talk about who gets what job. But just know
Yeah,
that good old Andrew Romick is about to be the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, and there's nothing that Mark can do to stop it. The plan has been in motion for years, and my vision is finally being executed, and it's only a matter of time before Mark's house goes up in flames, and Alexis will be right there with us along the journey.
yeah, this will be very fun to document. I know that you have your 2 month plan, but I don't want you to spoil anything. So, I'm just kind of envisioning things myself. I imagine that the last step would be, like some kind of like kidnapping, where Mark's like, no, no, I'll do anything, like, well, like whether it's his daughter Alexis, I don't know, or whether it'd be Luka Doncic or I don't know. I'm not too familiar with his wife, but it's like I'm not too sure what that process would look like, but it would be very fun to envision.
Have you ever seen the movie Django Unchained?
I have not.
Well, so the last scene is like Jamie Foxx goes back to the plantation, and he like sets up dynamite and like in the main household, and just blows it up, like walking away, like puts on sunglasses, and the house is burning and exploding in the background. And that's my final step, just something reminiscent of that, like some form of that shot, like me just like walking away from the Cuban household exploding with Alexis Cuban right there with me. Just something along those lines will suffice.
Well,
Like I said, steps 2 through 64 are just up to your imagination, but yeah, step 65 is just me walking away with a couple of arson charges, but you know,
right.
there's nothing a couple $1 billion can't fix. I'll also be
No.
inheriting Mark's net worth. That's another step in the plan that I can reveal.
Yeah, you can transfer over to my account so I can bail you out immediately as you touch jail. So I think it depends on who your lawyer is. I think if your lawyer is analytical sportsman, then I think you could get away with it.
I mean, like I said, this plan has been years in the making, and like I feel like Thanos at this point, just standing above everyone else. Like there's nothing anyone can do to stop me at this point. The only outcome of this is me having ownership of the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, Mark could stay around if he wants to. Like maybe he can be like a janitor at the AAC if he wants to cooperate and make this easy for me. But
Well, what if the Mavs just start going like undefeated?
well,
Just like midway, where you're what? Like, would there be any reasoning behind it? Behind like trying to take control?
well, yeah, like if when I'm in control, the Mavs are not going to lose a game ever. That's just how it's
Right.
going to go.
By any means necessary, we will win every game.
Mm-hmm. Like Nate Hinton, 5-year, $250 million super max. The starting lineup will look like let's see, Luka, Josh Green, Nate Hinton, Maxey, and Boban. That's the team of the future. That's 82-0. All five guys get 48 minutes a night. No one else. We'll just dump the entire rest of the team. Just have 5 available players, and we'll
just hire a hitman to kill Julius Randle and Kawhi Leonard.
We'll have the best training staff, like team doctors and everything. So injuries are just out of the question.
Yeah, just get the Russian Olympic Committee.
Yeah,
They start doping all the players.
All of the refs will be on my payroll as well, so you don't have to worry about any bad calls selling games.
This is a solid plan. I'm really excited to see where that goes forward from.
I will be documenting every step of the plan on my story, and I promise you that it'll end in fireworks and triumph, and you'll be there with me every step of the way. Maybe throw you a GM job
I can't wait.
at the end of it, you know.
Lico Larison doesn't deserve that role.
Just in no world does Lico Larison deserve to be the Mavericks GM over Zach Brown. Like, there's just not a single universe where that's the case.
What I'm saying. Oh, and also, I've kind of been doing my own little side hustle. If I had if I had my phone on me, I'd be able to tell you right now. But I found, and I'll swing it to you later. I found the Instagram handle of the kind lady who runs the Mavericks Instagram account.
Oh boy.
And boy, I have just been harassing her. I feel so sorry for her. I have just been absolutely torching her phone. Her phone's about to explode with how many messages I sent, just trying to get a follow from the Dallas Mavs official page. She hasn't opened it yet, but I'm sure with time and with patience, which I'm sure I know I have. I'll do this to the end of my time. So I will get a follow from the Dallas Mavs. I don't know if you how long you guys have been following my Instagram page, but I'm actually the reason why the Dallas Mavericks are verified on Instagram. So I feel like that the only reason, or that the only thing that they can do to pay me back is just a follow on Instagram. So
I do recall the post in which you detailed how you got the Mavs verified. I very much enjoyed that.
it might have been my stupidest post of all time.
That was some comedic gold. I mean, maybe we need to start doing the same thing that we were doing with like Rashawn Holmes and all them. Like at the start of free agency, just start DMing agents and family members and friends.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we have a lot more power than we think.
Oh
I
yeah.
had no clue that Rashawn Holmes' agent would just be like talking back, and then viewing all the stories. I feel like that if we put together a strong community, we've already established that I think we can do that. There's nothing that's really going to stop us from controlling the Mavericks. They're going to be our puppets.
See, but like to an extent, like I'm not even joking when I say that like I'm more powerful than I thought. Like I that sounds weird, but like I reached out to Pedro Power, that's Rashawn Holmes' agent. I had not a single hope that he would ever read that or even or respond or anything. And yet he was right there having full paragraph long conversations with me, and he broke the news that the Mavs didn't offer Rashawn a contract like before anyone else. And that's like, for a minute there, we were genuine NBA insiders. Like, that's the definition of what an NBA insider is. And like, I know that our whole shtick is like we're the smartest Mavs fans, but like for a minute there, it was just it felt like we had the entire world in our hands. And obviously, when I'm the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, it'll feel like that for everyone. But just like that whole week,
I feel like
just felt like a dream.
as our pages grow, that we will be able to get more and more contacts, more and more insight, and eventually we're just going to be like taking over Mavericks media. Right? No, we're going to get our own media passes.
Well, it's like
We're
Chris has grown his page, No Context NBA. It's grown so much that like you can't really be an NBA fan on Instagram without at least some point having interacted with a Chris fan or a Chris supporter, or having seen like me and Chris or something like that. Like Chris has become such a cult following in the NBA Instagram community that like it just shows that, like shoot for the stars, aim for the moon. As your page grows, you get more and more traction. I'd say Chris has 100,000 followers, but his influence has hit probably 50 million.
He barely posts about his like personal page or his name, and it's just like everyone knows who Chris is.
I'll be talking to some of my friends, or like talking with you. I can he's just Chris. He's not no context NBA. He's just Chris, because he's gotten to that
Right.
level of like cult fandom that there's nothing that, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but yeah.
No, I got you. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like I posted a TikTok on my personal, and I had like only like 4 people, but there's still 4 people that said, "Hey, is this at Confused Math Fan?" I said, "What?
Yeah, I
I
saw.
never, I've never put my face on my personal page. I've never put my name on my personal page, and somehow it just connected, and that was just kind of a wild moment.
Yeah, I saw.
But yeah,
I saw that TikTok where you're talking about Bobby Portis, and someone's like, "I was like, yo, no way! I found Confused Mass Fan TikTok," and then I was like, "Yo, so did I."
but
Like it was
yeah,
that like
we're,
that.
we're,
That
we're
was crazy.
very powerful.
Our reach is growing every day. You know, like a year ago, I was at like, I don't know, 20 followers, and like 2 months ago, I was at, I don't know, 500. Like we're growing exponentially, and
Yeah, you were grinding over the summer. That was fun to watch. I was busy working summer camps, and then but like scrolling up whenever I did get the chance to see my phone, like you were going off. So I commend you.
yeah, like I've been finding. I didn't think I'd be posting like at the end of the season, like when the Mavs got bounced. I made a post and I was like, "This is my last post for a while. Like I'm gonna just chill, you know, not have to worry about this because I don't know what I'm gonna be making." But then I just kept getting ideas, and I was gone for like a week and a half, and then I was like, "Okay, this is like I gotta make some of these post ideas," and then like at least 2 posts a week since then. Like over the past couple of days, I've been going a couple a day, but like I've had spurts where I've gone 3 or 4 posts in a day. Like obviously the free agency was a hectic time for Mavs fans, but just like even like when the Mavs weren't playing, I was like finding relevant meme sources like
Right.
out of the other teams in the playoffs.
And
Obviously,
it's just gonna be even crazier whenever like in season. It's
yeah.
just like there's just gonna be so many inside jokes, and it's gonna be fun. So
Like
that's what I'm really looking forward to.
I'm gonna try to make a meme about every game or something like that. Like just like try to be
Right.
keeping up with every single game. And yeah, like I've already got the Mavs schedule on my calendar, and I've already like asked off work for those days so I can just keep up with the games and watch as many as I can. But yeah, it's like I'm excited. I'm excited for the season. I was excited last year. I was excited the year before. Obviously, those didn't end like we wanted to. This one most likely won't. But hey, there's always that chance that I'll be posting memes throughout the summer, just talking about Luka's insane 90-point
Oh,
quintuple double
90 point. Yeah, yeah. Not
in
what
the
I said.
finals. Yeah, it's it's exciting. Obviously, it'd be more exciting if Nate Hinton won a championship with us. Um, just feels like a missed opportunity. Like I meme aside, I'm genuinely saddened by losing Nate Hinton. He seems like a great dude and just so
I think
fun.
Nate Hinton, he was a light. He was a light in a dark time on the roster, and his presence will be missed.
Like yeah, like starting out the season 12 and 14, being the 14 seed at one point, just looking over at the bench, Mavs getting an open layup while down 50, just seeing Nate Hinton do the Nets line dancing is just brought a smile to my face consistently. And he was active on IG. He's commented on my stuff before. He's seen my stories. I DM'd him once and he responded. And like he's
He's a cool dude.
yeah, he's a cool dude.
You know that sparked me a question. Here, you have to answer this question in 10 seconds after I finish it. You have to bring 2 Dallas Mavericks, any role in the organization, onto a deserted island with you. Who are you bringing?
Nate Hinton and Boban.
Nate Hinton's not on the team anymore, so you know.
Oh, the current players. Oh shit, Luca and Boban, or maybe JJ and Luca, or JJ and Boban. Any combination of those three. But perfectly
JJ,
solid.
Luka, or Boban in any
Any combination.
order.
That'd be hilarious. Like,
Why would that be? Just entertainment purposes?
Yeah, I don't care about survival at that point. Like I'd be if I'm gonna starve, then I'm gonna starve watching two best friends just trash talk the shit out of each other.
Be a good way to go out.
Yeah, I miss that trio, man. Just like watching like there's like a compilation of like mic'd up moments in the bubble, and like they kept miking up Boban before the games, and like he and Luca would just like bully JJ, like back him into a corner, and, like, abuse him.
Yeah, Luca would always call him his son.
Yeah, that was a good. I miss that team, man. The 1920. That was a great season. Like not even just for the Mavericks, like for the NBA in general. Like obviously
Yeah, no,
minus
it was fun.
minus COVID, but I'd say that was the most optimistic I've been as a Mavs fan ever. Just every other year is just pain and just hollowness.
So speaking of pain and hollowness, do you think that this year's Mavericks roster has gotten better or worse?
Better with like an asterisk on it, because all right, we lost Josh Richardson, we lost JJ Redick,
Thank God.
Nicolo Melli, uh, and one other dude. Who else did we lose? We lost someone else in free agency. I can't remember, but I we got better. I'll say that. We didn't get good, but we got better. Sterling Brown, Reggie Bullock, and Moses Brown are all better than JJ Redick, Josh Richardson, and Nicolo Melli. I didn't enjoy watching Nicolo Melli play. JJ Redick is old and brittle, averaging like 8 minutes a game.
I know, dude. It was so hard to watch. I was so excited for Reddick.
Yeah, me too. I was like right when it happened, I had this like giddy childlike optimism, and I was so excited to watch him just like run off of like DHOs and just like pop like 5 threes a game. But he was like just like injured half the time. Like he had like heel issues, and then the rest of the time he was just like not getting any minutes because he's like 36 years old. And like I've been listening to his podcast, and he's very aware of the fact like this is the end of his career, and he's got 1 or 2 more years left in him before he's gonna hang it up.
Right.
And yeah, it was just a sad display. Sad, like I've always liked JJ Redick, and super excited when he came, and then it just didn't pan out the way we wanted it to.
Yeah, that was one of my hot takes, that just like JJ Redick was going to have like a 6-man role where he was just gonna like light it up. But what's your hot take for coming into this season?
Oh God, I don't like. The last time I had a Mavericks hot take that I shared publicly was when I said Josh Richardson is going to win Most Improved Player. Hold on, let me think. Let me think very carefully. I don't know if this is a hot take, and more so just like, I don't know, just like something that could happen. Like Reggie Bullock, 42% 3-point season on like 13 points a game. Probably not going to be in a starting role, Luca, Timmy, probably Dorian Finney-Smith are all surefire starters at the 1 through 3. So I really don't see, unless like maybe if Dodo has a off year, which I don't really see because he's been improving every season. But I don't see Reggie Bullock really touching a starting role. But I feel like he's going to be a great bench piece, like running the second unit with like guys like Brunson.
I think that my hot take is going to be. Oh my gosh! Hold on. Do you remember that whenever the Mavericks went the entire regular season without dropping a first quarter lead? I don't know why that just came to my head, but that was insane. So if somebody predicted that hot take, I was gonna go along the lines of that, but just remembering that was insane.
But we dropped one. We dropped one in the playoffs. One of the home games.
My hot take is that the Mavericks will win in Madison Square Garden this year.
That's a hot take.
KP might have the worst season ever, but he will freaking go off. It is his time. KP might be the worst player in Madison Square Garden whenever he wasn't playing for the Knicks. I think that he will get his revenge game 3 years later.
Like, yeah, last year, even with the diminished crowds, like the 2,000 out of 25,000 seats, like KP, every time he touched the ball, just endless booing, flooding him. And like, I respect the consistency from Knicks fans. It's been a long time. Most of them probably don't even know why they're booing, but
Yeah, it's been
I
a minute.
respect it. Just like when Rondo was getting the ball in the AAC, he was getting booed by Mavs fans. I thought that was great. I was not expecting that whatsoever. But like I had that thought cross my mind as soon as I saw the matchup, like when the seeds were set. And I was like man, it'd be fucking sick if Rondo got booed every time he got the ball, and then that happened. I was so surprised.
And I think that my other hot take is that one Maverick will throw a punch during a regular season game.
Absolutely,
Like
I agree
full on
with that.
throw a punch. I think that it's gonna happen. I don't know who it's gonna come from.
Who are the top 3 candidates? I'd say KP's up there. KP gets pretty feisty.
KP might throw one. Boban would never.
Boban would never.
If Luka was to throw anything, it'd be like a slap. It'd be like a disrespectful, like little bitch slap.
Like when he hammer punched Colin Sexton in the cock.
Yeah, just the back fist. Maybe a Sterling Brown.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
it not?
He got like the shit beat out of him at Miami nightclub one time. I don't know, maybe he's got some pin-up aggression from that.
Yeah. So KP, Sterling, and then maybe one more. One more guy.
Maybe Jared Dudley. Like
Oh my!
Ben Simmons hits a 3 right in front of the
That
Mavs
would
bench.
be-
Stares down
that
Jared
would be
Dudley,
great.
and Dudley just like rips off his tie and just starts fucking
Oh come on,
Mayweathering him.
dude! JJ Barea and Jared Dudley are on they're on the same bench. Those are the two little pesky effers ever in like the league. And they've got a lot of enemies, so it's gonna be fun. You know, whether the season goes like we want to with the coaching staff, it is going to be entertaining. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, we should have JJ suit up for all the Laker games so we can clamp up LeBron. 2011 type beat.
JJ Barea's son.
I gave a presentation about JJ Barea in my Spanish class 'cause we were like talking about Puerto Rico and we had to like research a famous Puerto Rican guy, and I referred to him as El Padre de LeBron James the entire time.
El Padre de LeBron James. That's hilarious. Was Charlie Villanueva, was he Puerto Rican?
Oh shit!
Was he,
I want
was
to
he
say
Cuban?
I want to say Venezuelan for some reason. Charlie.
That's just what his last name sounds like.
Villanueva. He is an American former basketball player.
Oh! Whoa, really?
Yep.
No, he's got some kind of nationality.
Ethnic background. Let's see. Dominican.
Okay, yeah. He's a DR guy.
There's if you're not a member of the Discord, go join it. Link is in my Instagram bio.
Mine too.
I'll throw it in the description of the video on YouTube. But yeah, we have a fellow in here who goes by the name of Charlie Villanueva Toilet, referring to the time that Charlie Villanueva got his toilet stolen from his house.
Can't have shit in Dallas. Yeah, can't have a toilet.
It's 12:45. While we're recording this, and I'm so tired out of my mind, like physically and emotionally, that like just thinking about that, it's just like that is the funniest thing that's probably ever. It's like you break into a house, it's like an NBA player's house, so he's got some nice shit. You see like a flat screen TV on the wall, you know, some computers, maybe like a Rolls Royce in the garage. No, I'll just go for the toilet. That is the most bizarre story that I've ever heard.
I'm just kind of like dozing off into space, just thinking about like a robber coming into your house and like, I go for the toilet. You know, it's like it's not something you really think of, but hey, it happens. Actually, no, it doesn't happen. Just to Charlie Villanueva. So
That's the only time that's ever happened in history. I don't know. Maybe dude just really had to take a shit, but he didn't want to stink up the bathroom, so he just took the whole toilet.
yeah, maybe. Oh, you know what a good question is?
What's
How
that?
many technicals will Luca get this season?
Ooh, that's a fun. I'm gonna say
He was
11.
he was one technical away from getting suspended.
I'm gonna say 11, maybe like 9. I'd say he's gonna get a lot less than last season because of the all right, here's my Luca theory. I'm just gonna talk for a couple of minutes, just like talking about Luca and what I think is going on in his mindset. So he came into the NBA. He said that it's easier to score here than in Europe, and that's because he knows how to exploit the NBA foul rules, right? And he's gotten so accustomed to those that he's like yelling at the refs because he's no longer getting the cheap fouls that players like James Harden and Trae Young get, because he's better than both of those people, but he's not getting the calls to back that up. And so he'll turn to the ref and let out his anger at him, maybe like yell something in Slovenian. But like he, with the NBA changing the foul call rules and like how to properly draw fouls and stuff like that, Luka, it's not going to affect Luka's scoring because we saw his scoring outburst in the Olympics, but
Right.
he's gonna draw a couple techs. Like I'd say in the first 10 games, he's gonna have like 3 techs, and but then after that, he's gonna like realize like I shouldn't be like arguing to these refs because they're not gonna call it anymore because they're not allowed to call it anymore. So he's gonna lighten down, maybe snap every once in a while. But I'd say like the over under of Luka techs this year is gonna be like 9.5.
9.5.
Yeah. That's our I'd say every podcast we're gonna drop an over under. Last time the over under was how many years it's gonna take for Luka to hop on a pod. This time it's how many texts Luka will have in the year.
If I was to throw $100, I think I'd go on the over.
I would say the over is probably safer.
It'd be close though. It'd be close.
It's gonna be around
Because-
9.5, like anywhere from 8 to like 11.
Right.
But yeah, I think his tempers are gonna cool down a little bit now that he knows he's not gonna be getting the calls that he wants.
Yeah. I think we'll get at least one Jason Kidd ejection.
I think Jared Dudley's probably gonna get ejected once. Like Buddy has a huge
that.
mouth.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially whenever LeBron comes into town.
Probably at least one KP ejection.
Sure. Maybe for just like, KP doesn't take shit. Like he doesn't let people bully him around. That's one thing I can appreciate.
Game 1 of the 2020 Clippers series was like Porzingis just showed his true colors. Like he got like a bogus foul call when it was just like all ball, and he turned to the ref and threw his fist in frustration and got a tech. And then after that, Marcus Morris was starting shit with Luka, and he ran over and shoved him. Like, nah, you're not gonna talk to my teammate like that. And
Right.
like, yeah, I think going back to your question about the over under of punches thrown, I'd say KP is definitely the most likely candidate. Like you get him riled up, he's gonna shove you or swing at you. But I mean, yeah, like Luka can get pretty heated too. Like he's never had like a physical altercation like that, but like Marcus Morris beating up on him, it's not like he just took it. Like he got back in his face and shoved him back. And then like I remember like start of the 1920 season, Marquise Chris, like one of the Warriors games, Mavs were up by 30, and Marquise Chris is a sore loser, so he just shoved Luka, and Luka got up. He wanted all the smoke, but like the ref like held him back.
Yeah, I remember that game, and then he had a little altercation with Terrence Mann. And I mean, I don't see Luka throwing a punch though.
If
Like he's gonna size people up, and he'll. I don't know.
he's gonna get one technical from like an altercation with another player, at least one. If
Yeah, I
James
can see that.
if James Johnson was still on the team, then I'd say the over under of punches thrown would be raised significantly. I
Oh my
remember
gosh.
like the third game of the season was like, or like the fourth game of the season, I think, because the third game of the
Oh,
season.
the old Cody Martin headbutt.
Yeah, just like I was excited when James Johnson got here. I was like, yeah, Luka got a bodyguard. But then after that game, I was like, this dude is just a menace. Like he's just like a like I just don't want this man like associated with the team.
He also just sucks at basketball.
Yeah, I mean, in addition to that, like undefeated in the MMA, which is I mean nothing to scoff at. But then when you're just like headbutting dudes for pretty much no reason, then that's just like what are Flight React's badges? So there's menace to society, there's school threat, school nuisance,
Full threat. And then
hazard to the nation.
hazard to the nations.
I'd say like James Johnson is just straight up like I don't know what's the terminology. I'm gonna bust out thesaurus real quick. Yeah, James Johnson is just a straight up like peril to civilization. Like man is if like
we've got to copyright that.
peril to civilization. Yeah, if you
Peril
hear
to the populations.
if you're listening to this, Kimani White, you're not allowed to take that from us. That's our
Money Flight White.
So like out of the top 10 like possible ways that humanity goes extinct, you got like nuclear war, global pandemic, obviously. I guess like androids, maybe like an asteroid impact, and then James Johnson is up there too. You know,
Yeah,
like, he can just
no, like James Johnson, like doing it's just James Johnson.
yeah, he's just gonna go around like headbutting everyone, shoving people, just being an absolute menace. If I was like just like hooping in my gym and James Johnson walked in, I would run. Like I'm not even joking. If I saw this blonde haired man walking to my gym, I just book it.
He's a scary looking dude.
Yeah, like all the neck tattoos, face tattoos.
Yeah. Do you know what I've been thinking about doing for my for the next step of my Instagram page?
What's up?
I'm just gonna be DMing like thousands of like irrelevant companies, just like begging for a sponsorship on the podcast. I think that would be hilarious.
I'll be doing the same. I'll make like a Google spreadsheet.
Let's freaking do it, dude. Let's just
out.
roll into the next podcast with like 57 sponsors.
like Old Man in the Three. Like JJ Redick gets on them sponsorships. Like he has a lot. Just like
Yeah, but they're legit. Like let's just go to like, well, let's just get like SoundCloud rappers and just like fake Instagram like clothing stores.
like local like family owned restaurants from where we're from.
Let's freaking do it. It's so funny.
Yeah, I've been like low key trying to get Jelly Mafia to sponsor me. It's Chris's merch. And yeah, that the Jelly Mafia designs are the inspiration for my profile picture. I still need to name that little guy. Comments are open for anyone who has an idea for the name. Like I posted on my story, I was like, send in names for this little man, and like all of them sucked. Like you guys are not funny at all.
I think you should name him after the very first player drafted by the Mavericks.
Wasn't it Mark Aguirre?
Kiki Vandaway.
Oh.
Kiki Vandaway. Name him Kiki.
Oh, I knew that.
Kiki Vandaway actually never played a game with the Mavericks. We were a new franchise, and he did not want to be a part of it, so he did not play.
He looks like he was a Mavs assistant coach from 99 to 2001.
Oh, well, that's nice.
And he was the New Jersey Nets coach for a season, 2009-10 season. And a two-time All-Star with the Nuggets, I believe. Yep.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, congrats on him, but, you know, fuck him for not wanting to be a part of this legendary organization, dude. we have had the best rotation of players in NBA history. You know, like remember when we thought that like Wesley Matthews and Dwight Powell was the tandem of the future? Like, do you remember?
Oh, dude,
Like,
do you remember? Do you remember whenever we thought it was Dwight Powell and Justin Anderson?
oh yeah,
Though I was convinced.
how could I forget Justin Anderson, dude?
I said
What-
this is the future.
Where's he at now?
I don't think he's playing in the league.
He was on the Nets in the bubble, I think. Yeah, last time he played was in the bubble with the Nets. Man.
I just remember Marcus Morris throwing a basketball at his forehead. That's the last thing I remember.
I
He was
think
on the
about that
Wizards
every day. He didn't even throw it. Like, he just, like, straight up just pounded. I think
he just hammered it on his head.
Yeah, like, Marcus Morris is another peril to society. Or peril to the population.
Peril to civilization.
Yeah. Like, if Marcus Morris and James Johnson end up on the same team, it's everyone should just retire. Like, it's their league at that point. Like, I don't think anyone should ever try to play them because they'll end up with
What would be like an all peril to civilization starting five?
Patrick Beverley, Marcus Smart, James Johnson, Marcus Morris, and Serge Ibaka. You see how quickly I came up with that?
That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid.
That team would just, like, every team they play, like, there'd be at least one injury resulting from it. The bench would be, you know, Grayson Allen.
Oh my gosh.
Grayson
that is
Allen,
a threat.
Draymond Green, Marquise Chris. Let me think. Didn't Grayson Allen get traded to the Bucks?
Yeah,
That's kind of funny.
it is fine.
Patrick,
Oh, Thanasis?
is he?
Dude, he's a menace. Have you ever seen the clip of him guarding Luka?
I don't
And
know.
have you seen the clip whenever he was playing for like the Greek like Panathinaikos, like whenever he was humping the dude out of bounds?
Oh, wait. You just reminded me. Thon Maker. Thon Maker would easily go. Have you seen that video of him doing like the flying
Thon
kick?
Maker flying knees. Oh, dude, the Thon, dude. Dude, he did like 3 times. He was bound to land a flying knee on somebody, dude. That's a menace.
Like when he was playing overseas and like both teams just got into like this massive like riot level brawl and Thon Maker's just like throwing like high kicks.
He's just jumping the entire time, just like throwing his knees. Bro, that is so scary. I bet he's got some bony knees too. I'll get knocked out.
If I saw Thon Maker coming at me, dude, with his, just looking at his knees, I would like just freeze in terror. Trying to think. Let's get one more to round out our team of perils to society.
Let me think. Oh, maybe like an old Udonis Haslem, where he has like no motivation to play.
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He got in for like a millisecond and just started scrapping with Dwight Howard.
Yeah, like he had 2 minutes of playtime this season and 2 technicals. That was. Yeah, man, that's. That's
Haslem's
great.
not in the league anymore. Gotta find somebody else.
Yeah, Haslam is still in the league. He just re-signed with the Heat.
He re-signed?
Yeah, he's like 49.
Jesus Christ. Why did he get... Okay, I'm not gonna question it.
I mean, why would the Heat let him go? It'd be like if the Mavs let go of JJ Oh, wait.
Haha.
Haslam is going to be like an assistant coach on the Heat for like the rest of his life.
Oh, yeah, for sure. OG. You know, Chris Paul's kind of a menace. Like, he's not trying to fight anyone, but he's a pesky little guy.
Rockets Lakers 2018. I beg to differ.
Oh, Rondo's a menace. It's got to be Rondo.
Yeah.
Rondo's a menace.
Although, is he
Rondo.
up there with like Grayson Allen and all of them?
Dude, Rondo spit on that man. like that's different. That's different whenever you spit on somebody.
Yeah, that's a solid team there. Patrick Beverley, Marcus Smart, James Johnson, Marcus Morris. Maybe throw Markeith on the bench. He gets pretty riley.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a word, but now it
Marcus
is.
Cousins.
Oh yeah. Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't
here?
know why. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
What are we doing? How are we NBA analysts? All right, I feel like we've exhausted everything we have to say. We have like an hour and a half of footage at this point.
Here, well, hold on. Wait. We gotta throw out a little outro first.
Take it away.
Thank you for tuning in to your mother's favorite Mavericks podcast. Talk.